Hi everyone, my name is Edna.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is The Real Conversation.
Your trusted guide in everything real estate here in Kenya.
And we are proudly brought to you by Centum Real Estate, the biggest mixed-use developer in East and Central Africa.
And today we are joined by a valued expert, one of our partners, Gulf African Bank. And I think they're the only ones who do the topic of the day. So make sure to stick with us and find out what it is. And I want to give him a chance to introduce himself. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
How are you feeling?
Good.
It's been a long time coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Tumepanga, but finally we are here. Yeah. So you can tell us a bit about yourself, what you do in Gulf African, and maybe how you got there, where you started. Is this your career? I want to know everything about it today. Ndio mtu mwenye watch today, if they actually want to follow, at least they have someone they can look up to and have an inspiration from.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, guys. So my name is Nasser Abdulwahab. I am the head of Islamic wing or Sharia department of Gulf African Bank. So Gulf African Bank is a fully fledged Sharia-compliant bank. I've been with the institution now, this is my 5th year. But prior to that, I was also head of Sharia in another bank. I started this career since 2011, so this is my 14th year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've only been in Islamic banking.
Wow.
So I can say this is where I've been for all my career.
Yeah.
And I intend to finish it at that
point.
Wow.
Like I feel Islamic banking is such a niche part of in accounting, banking, finance. So it's really refreshing to hear that this group of people is catered for. And maybe is this like something you see yourself doing in the long run? Ama okona interests that you have, maybe farming, what else do people do? Beekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is what I may want to do for all my career. Though I may have an interest in farming, I try sometimes to Google to see how is poultry farming, how is all this other. But this is where I want to be. If not in mainstream, I can do maybe consultancy. Because I believe we still have a huge gap, not only in the country, but the whole region.
Yeah.
And the service is still needed. And we need to have it maybe in large scale, and also sensitization so that people can know that there is Islamic banking and how does it work, how is it different from the conventional setup, so that at least we can have it at a bigger level. So yes, this is something I intend to do it for the rest of my God willing.
Foreseeable future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
So today we are mainly talking about Sharia-compliant real estate, taking that this is a real estate podcast, and mortgages. And I want to ask a very simple question. What is Sharia, first of all, and what is Sharia-compliance?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so Sharia, and I think it's a good question because most of the people think Sharia is that tough law which people implement, chopping people's hands and everything. Yeah. But basically, Sharia is a way of life, is a set of laws guiding a Muslim on how to live his life.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a relation between you and the Almighty. And God has given you these laws on how to live, how to try and emulate the Prophet who came with the laws. And maybe if we compare it with Christianity, it's like the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a sets of laws which has been revealed by the Almighty for a Muslim to try and emulate. And Sharia compliance is to try and comply with these laws. So it is actually a broad spectrum. It covers someone's social life, economic life, political life. So it covers all the spheres of a Muslim's life. So to be specific in Sharia compliance here is we may go specific to economic and specifically to finance. That's where now you hear this term of Sharia compliance, that someone wants to do his business, someone wants to take financing, someone wants to invest in a Sharia compliant way, meaning in how God had ordained it. Yeah.
Okay, I think also the main thing we hear with Sharia is you're not supposed to get interest. I feel like that's one thing even I know.
Yeah.
So, like, how does this look in even in banking? Because now you've been there. How does this look in banking? How does this look when people are taking mortgages, loans? How does the no interest in Sharia structure this banking formats?
Yeah. So most of the people know when you mention Sharia compliant banking, they will relate it with no interest. But we have other aspects, we have other factors which are also very important, equally as important as no interest. So yes, one of the main principles is banning of interest. You're not supposed to receive or to pay interest. And this is something which has been clearly mentioned in our scriptures. So if you are not charging interest, if you are not paying interest, then you have to structure a product in a way that it is acceptable, it is Sharia compliant, and at the same time make sure that you are earning some income for the organization, for institution. And I think this is one of the misconceptions maybe we'll discuss later. So if we are not doing interest, how are we working? We'll either trade with our customers, we'll either partner with our customers in their investments, we'll either lease to our customers. So these are some of the structures which are alternative to charging interest.
They generate you income.
Which generate income for the institution.
Okay, I have a question. You said no interest is part of it. Now, for someone like me who doesn't know what the rest of it looks like, what does Sharia compliance in terms of, or Sharia in itself, in terms of economics, look like? What are those other key aspects for even most of our listeners who may not be aware? It's not just interest. So what else is it?
Yeah. So there are four main things or four main areas, factors which are looked at when you mention Sharia compliant financing. The first is what we have just mentioned, interest. And interest in a very basic definition is charging a surplus on a loan. So someone has lent you some amount, you repay it with something on top. And it is conditional. So assuming I gave you 1,000, then we agree you'll repay me back 1,000, but you repay me back 1,000 with something on top, just out of your own goodwill, then that is not considered as the non-compliant interest. It has to be conditional, that I have given you this much, you'll repay me this with something on top. So that is the problematic one. And so the interest bit where the bank or the institution gives customer the money is not allowed. And if you give them money directly, if you lend them money, they'll have to repay you the same amount. Yeah. So that's why you have to structure it in other alternative ways so that you can make money. So that is the first one. The second one is that there is an element of risk sharing. That is very important. And that is the reason why we can say interest is prohibited. Because in interest, one of the parties, that is the lender, has no risk. Is not bearing any risk in this transaction. But from Sharia principles or Sharia teachings, both parties have to bear some form of risk. So assuming, for instance, in trading, you have a buyer and a seller. There is a risk both parties bear. The buyer whatever he's selling. So that is the second bit, the element of risk sharing. The third bit is that you have to finance or transact on things which are ethical and Sharia compliant. So that also forms a basis of most Islamic financial institutions, that I cannot finance, for instance, alcohol is considered as non-Sharia compliant. So we cannot finance or invest in alcohol-related activities.
Yeah.
Someone wants to open a pub. We cannot provide a working capital for construction or stocking of a pub. We have something like gambling. It's non-ethical. It's also considered non-Sharia compliant. So that is the third element, that we only look at areas which are ethical and Sharia compliant. And by the way, things which are not Sharia compliant, it's just a small circle. That's another misconception. People think almost everything. So we can mention they don't even reach 5 things which are not Sharia compliant. Then the last element is that we have to deal with assets. There has to be an underlying asset. That's why in my initial statement, I said we can't give you money directly. So there must be an asset involved, or there must be some form of investment involved. So those are the 4 main areas which any Sharia-compliant financial institution will have to look at when they are structuring their products.
Before we go far, I think people in real estate, they like, if you do not have cash, you'd prefer taking financing. We call them mortgages. How does a mortgage look like in, let's say, in our Gulf, a Sharia-compliant mortgage? Like today, I've come to you and I want to take a Sharia-compliant mortgage. How will it look like for me?
Yeah, that's a good question. So assuming customer wants a mortgage, and like I told you, we don't give cash. Because if we give cash, the underlying structure or the underlying contract will be a loan. And if it's a loan, we can't earn from a loan. So like I said, we have 3 main ways. We can either trade with our customers, where the bank will buy this asset and then sell it to you with a profit. So assuming the asset is 10 million, the bank will buy the asset, take ownership of this asset, and then put its own markup, maybe 10.5 or 12 million. Then it will sell it to you. You'll pay it in installments on deferred basis. So that is one of the ways. So we trade. You can see here we didn't lend you money. We actually traded with you. The other option, which most Islamic banks also apply, is partnering. So assuming the asset is 10 million, the bank can come in and say, let's co-purchase this asset. Assuming you had 2 million and you wanted the bank to finance you the rest. So we'll come, both of us, and co-purchase this asset, and then we co-own the asset. And after that, the bank will start selling its shares to you. So every month, you are buying us out. So the first thing is we co-own. We create a co-ownership. And in that co-ownership, if there are any risks which will happen to the asset, we'll have to share the risks. So gradually, you'll be buying us out. So you'll be buying us out, and ultimately, you'll become the sole owner of the asset. And another method which an Islamic bank, so that is the main one, by the way. In most of the mortgage products Islamic banks do, is the co-ownership. So they will not finance you 100%. You'll have to bring in part of your contribution. Then we co-own, and then the rest of the process,
you buy us.
I buy you out. Then the other one is financial lease. So an Islamic bank may purchase an asset, then lease it to the customer. At the end of the lease period, it has the option of either extending the lease or selling it to another party, that is the bank, because the bank is the owner, or transferring the ownership to the customer. And most of the time we use this third one, lease ending with ownership. So at the end of the lease period, ownership will be transferred to the customer at a token fee, because at that point the bank would have recovered its purchase price and would have put its cost markup on top of it. So these are the main Sharia structures being used by Islamic banks in mortgages.
Wow, you have to appreciate it's smart.
Yes,
This is very smart. I wouldn't have thought of this, by the way.
And just a question before we even continue, because there's someone who's listening and asking themselves, well, I'm not Is it Muslim? I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
I'm not Muslim. Does this apply to me?
Yeah, and this is a very good question.
And this is the only question I want answered today. Yeah, tell me.
Me too.
Me too. Can I
Work for
come?
me.
Yeah, so actually it's a concept, and in a concept everyone is welcome. Just like a cuisine, someone who loves Indian cuisine doesn't necessarily mean he's an Indian.
Indian for sure.
So the same thing applies to the banking concept. In Islamic finance, the concept itself of risk sharing, you'll find a lot of people just loving and embracing the concept. So a good number of our customers are non-Muslims, are corporate big customers. Maybe they just loved how the concept works. Even our staff, people working for us, quite a good number are non-Muslim. So the bank is open to everybody.
Yeah.
It's just a concept which anybody can embrace. Yeah, so it's open to anybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be taking that house with a mortgage from Gulf Bank.
And I do appreciate the risk sharing
Yeah.
factor because it shows that you care about me and you'll also have to care about yourself with whatever offering
Yeah.
that you're giving me.
Yeah.
So that is fantastic.
Maybe I can explain further on the risk sharing.
Yeah.
Assuming we were co-owning this asset, and then something happens to you, God forbid you passed on. In a conventional bank, in a normal conventional bank, what normally happens is that when, assuming it was covered by the mortgage protection cover, it has a cover. The first thing they will do when the insurance money comes in is they will recover their money back. Then if there's anything remaining, they'll share it with you. But in a Sharia-compliant bank, we will look at what was our outstanding ownership ratio at the time of your death. So assuming you have bought us out and at your time of your demise, you are 60% owner, the bank was 40%, you will actually take the 60% of the proceeds. Bank will take 40%. And if the 40% is not enough to cover our exposure, our outstanding, we will not follow the customer. So we'll actually just share this money with the family of the deceased, and then we'll have to declare this as a loss if it was not enough. Same thing applies if the asset gets damaged, assuming it was a motor vehicle. We did it through this partnership mode. If something happens to this vehicle and insurance paid, these proceeds will be shared as per our ownership ratio. We'll not first try to cover our debt, no. We'll share it with because we were co-owning. So if something happened to it, we'll have to share the money with you. We were co-owners. And if it was not enough to cover whatever debt or outstanding on our side, we'll not come after the customer. We'll have to declare it as a loss. So that is one of the points, the main difference in how we operate and how maybe a conventional bank can operate. For them, this is a debt.
They have
have first to close.
Yeah.
And if it's not enough to cover, they'll still follow you until they. So that is one of the things, maybe that's why Islamic banks may not make super profits, because there's the element of risk sharing. Yeah.
Let me ask you, let's use a practical example, because in Kenya, during the rainy seasons, there's a lot of flooding. So let's say I have my house somewhere here in Nairobi and floods come, and now damage that happens.
Yeah.
Now, what happens in such a scenario? Or let's say an act of God like fire happens. So what happens in a scenario like that in Islamic banking?
Yeah, that's a good example. So assuming we were co-owning this asset, and then something happens to the asset, maybe floods, you used even the best example, act of God, fire or whatever. And maybe the mortgage was 10 million. And bank's contribution or whatever banks financed you was 8 million, you 2 million. At the point of that incident or whatever, you had bought us out. Maybe you were 50-50. If the insurance will pay, then we will share the proceeds at 50-50. If the insurance won't pay for one or two reasons, we won't go after the customer. You'll have to declare it as a loss, because we both were co-owning this asset. something happened to the asset, you can't go after your co-owner.
Yeah.
Unless it was caused due to his negligence. Okay, in a house, I can't know negligence, how we can apply, but assuming
Maybe
it,
gas. Maybe they left the gas on.
yes, and it was investigated,
And they found out.
Yeah. So in such instance, you'll have to compensate the bank
Yeah.
because you didn't do your due diligence.
Yeah.
But in an ideal situation, we'll have to both bear the losses. So you can't go after the customer and tell him this is the outstanding, and you go after his other assets if he has other collaterals. So that is one of the that is how it will work in a Sharia compliant bank.
Okay, I want to probe a bit further because I want to finish. So this scenario is the house has been damaged and we're not going back to it. So let's say it's been damaged and I want to fix it. So will I fix it with my proceeds, or will I fix it with 100% of the proceeds? Let's say if the fire, it's burnt maybe half, not full.
Yeah.
And then maybe I want to fix it. So how will that, or gawana according to our ownership ratio?
Okay, yeah, because what I've just explained is a fully written off.
Yeah.
Assuming it's just a partial damage which can be fixed. So basically, we'll give you time.
Yeah.
And the proceeds, all of it will go to the fixing. Yeah. And during that period, the bank will not charge you. They'll have to give you a grace period. Because one of the elements of Islamic principles is that you have to charge on something which is existing, which is in use.
Yeah.
So I can't come and charge you on something which is in repair.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, especially in motor vehicles, where it has maybe broken down and it is in the garage.
Yeah.
During that period, the bank is forced to give you a grace period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Conventional banks don't do that, do they? They don't do that.
No.
So I can also come, apart from the house, I know I'm here for the houses, I can come for my car too.
Absolutely, for sure.
After this, you're giving me your contact.
For sure. We'll put it down here for everyone.
Here, by the way.
Yeah, so
feel free to reach him out if you'd like to get more information. That's just a small break.
Sidebar.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I know you've explained this, but I know someone would like clarification. So technically, there is no interest. So what are the methods in terms of mortgage financing? So what exactly happens? I know you said there's co-ownership and all that, but I'd like you to specify for everyone, because the biggest question is party interest. So where exactly and when exactly does your profit come in, and how much does that look like?
Yeah.
Like an example, maybe.
Let's say 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we can use an example. Assuming it's a mortgage of a 10 million, or we can start with a ready house.
Yes.
So basically, like I said, first, most Islamic banks, we don't do in mortgages 100% financing. We will want to see also your commitment. So you'll have to contribute, and most of the time it's 80%, 80-20.
Fair.
So the bank will finance 80, you bring in your 20. So at that point, we create the co-ownership. So there are some partnership documents you have to fill. And by the way, other credit appraisal process are quite similar to conventional banks. So your repayment ability, source of income, if you have credit history, all those things will have to use the same conventional credit appraisal processes. So assuming a customer comes in, he wants to apply for a mortgage of 10 million. We'll go through the credit appraisal process.
Yeah.
What are if he is a salaried customer, we'll look at his pay, salary. The 40%, the 2/3 rule will come in. Then also pay slips and all those things, undertaking from your employer. Those are the things we'll also look at. We'll look at your credit history through CRB. So assuming he qualified, if it is from a business perspective, you look at, we'll need your license, registration. We'll need a bank statement for the past 6 months to see how you have operated your business. So same way. And that is very important because who are we dealing with now, especially in a co-ownership structure. So after that, then you'll also have to identify the house, if it is a sale agreement from the vendor or maybe, all the normal mortgage processes.
Yes.
Then now we'll enter into the Sharia process. So the Sharia process is where we clearly stipulate in the agreement that this is a musharaka. I've tried to avoid using the Arabic word, but it's called a musharaka. And this is what Islamic banks use most. This is a musharaka. We are co-owning. We are co-purchasing this house. And these are the terms and conditions. So part of the terms is the pricing, that our price will be this way. And in pricing, there are two ways. I can sell to you my shares with a fixed profit. So the pricing here may be fixed. So every month you pay me, you buy me out, and my markup is this much. Or we have another method where I will sell to you my shares at cost price. There's nothing I'm making out of it. But since you are the one using this house and I own 80% of it, I'm entitled to charge you a rent.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the two elements. So I may charge you rentals for using my share of the asset. So every month, as you're buying me out and my shares, the bank decreases, the rental will also go down automatically because I'm charging you a percentage of the outstanding principal. Yeah. So those are the terms. Part of the terms also is in the event of default, what will happen if you fail to pay? How will we go about it? And most of the times, since we are co-owners, if we sell this house, we'll also have to share the proceeds. In case of your demise, what will happen? So all those fall under the terms and condition, which is very important for customers to read or to be taken through before they agree. So once they have assented, they have signed off, and things like insurance, because we have to cover this asset. Since we are co-owners, ideally we are supposed to both contribute to the insurance cost. Yeah. So after that, then you'll start the repayments. And at the end of the repayment period, the asset will be transferred to the customer's name. Yeah.
How does the insurance bit, since by the way we are co-owners, how does it look like? So you contribute your profit ratio,
Yes.
ownership ratio.
So assuming since we are 80% owners of this asset, we are supposed to contribute 80% of the insurance costs. And that is what is there even in our legal agreements, most Islamic financial institutions. However, the bank is allowed to recover these costs when they're in their rentals. They can factor that in because it's a cost.
Nasser, I thought you're giving this for me. Now you're telling me I'm going to pay for it.
Business.
It's business, yeah.
But I have a very important question. You have mentioned it in passing, defaulting. So you said there are grace periods. So let's say I have defaulted this month. Let's look at now how that looks like. Until there's this one person who has said they can only be able to start paying back in 3 months.
Yeah.
There is that's person A. Person B has said they don't see themselves being able to continue with this partnership. So how does the bank, Gulf Bank specifically, handle such situations?
Yeah. Thanks. So this is a very common situation, especially currently with the economy, how it looks. Defaulting it's very common. So going with your scenarios, if it is in the first instance, first we normally advise our customers. If you foresee that in this coming month I can't repay, or I'll struggle, or I'll do it late, reach out to us before it falls due. So if a customer comes and informs us, I can't do it this month, so we'll have to restructure. So basically restructuring is, we have two ways. First is add you more time. So we'll give you grace period during this time, and then we'll agree to restructure, where we'll have to reduce maybe the installments if the installments are high. And as you know, if you reduce the installments, you'll have to extend your period.
Yeah.
So that is the first way, restructuring, and it happens a lot, especially for customers who you can clearly see he's not a willful defaulter. And by the way, we also have that problem. As an Islamic bank, we find a lot of people trying to take advantage. Someone just telling you, I can't pay, I'm struggling. Yet he has facilities or loans with other banks, he's servicing them well. So for a willful defaulter, with restructure, we can give you a grace period. I remember during COVID period, we gave almost all our customers grace period, 3 to 6 months, or even some of them a whole year. So that is in case some customer wants just some time. So we'll restructure it to fit your installments, the amount you can pay, and the period. In the second instance, which is very difficult now, this is a co-ownership. We are co-owning an asset. Then a customer comes and tells you, I can't buy you out. In a normal situation, if it was not a bank, we would have just continued co-owning this asset and see what you can do about it. So since we are not in the business of co-owning assets and becoming permanent co-owners, yeah, we will have to sell off this asset.
Yeah.
And now if we dispose it off, since we were co-owners and you are not a willful defaulter, then there must be apportionment. We have to share the proceeds because you are not able to pay me. We are co-owning this asset, and if I sell, and it will be unfair for the bank to recover everything. Yeah, so those are the two scenarios.
Okay, before we now I have like 3 questions
It's okay.
at the same time.
Go ahead.
Yes.
So, first of all, the first question which we should have asked, normally there is the repayment period. Now, let's say in this co-ownership, how does the co-ownership period look like, the buying out period, the number of years? And then secondly, how many times is grace period
Offered.
Okay.
Can I come today? I say, guys, siwezi.
Yeah.
I come tomorrow, I say, guys,
Nimeshindwa.
nimeshindwa. COVID, and then comes again. Like, how much grace do you have?
Can you give?
How much grace? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So since we are a commercial bank, on the issue of period, it's the facility tenure. So most of our facilities are 10 years if you are a company. If it is an individual, salaried individual, it'll give you 20 years. So the musharaka, the co-ownership, will be in the span of 20 years. Yeah, most of the time. Or minimum 10 years because mortgages are expensive.
Yeah.
Grace period, it really depends with the circumstance of the customer. Some of the customers whom we engage with them directly, you can clearly see he is struggling.
Yeah.
I remember there is a customer who was sick. Sometimes he gets better, but most of his funds
Money goes
zinaenda tu kwa hospitali. So in such instances where you can clearly see this is a struggling customer, so you'll have to give him grace periods, but so there is no specific number.
Okay.
But it will reach an extent, bank itasema pia sasa, let's terminate this co-ownership by selling it off, and we see how we can share the proceeds. So yeah, hakuna specific, lakini most of the time tukitumia the prudential central bank guidelines, naona it can't go more than twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 2 times. Tukiona more than twice you're still requesting for grace period, then we look for other remedial measures, including terminating this relationship.
Another one before we continue.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a while back we had a conversation around auction.
Yeah.
And we came to the conclusion that Kenyans are afraid of auction. Mortgages because of auction.
Yeah.
So there's that point where you've said if someone is not a willful, someone is just defaulting
Yeah.
Naroho. So what happens when, yes, you want to terminate this asset, but it's their home. I don't know if you've had such a scenario.
Yeah.
It's their house and they don't want to move.
Yeah.
They don't. Now, because now auction is like the mother lode. You just levy distress and the court grants you. So how does it look like for you guys? Do you accept even auction?
Yes. So, by the way, auction is the last resort.
It's the last resort.
This is where we have tried all the remedial measures. We have restructured, tried to give you grace periods, added you more time.
Yeah.
So if all that fails, you see, we were co-owning this asset. We'll still have to report back to our shareholders.
Yeah.
So that will be the last resort. Even in auction, and maybe, yeah, you are right, most of the people are scared because of auction. Anakwambia, I'll take it, ikinishinda alafu si itakuwa auction. Most of the banks avoid auction.
Yeah.
They will try, even give you a whole year grace period. Try, enda ukajipange. Because even in auction, we are struggling to sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, watu hakuna market. So it is a last resort. Before tufike huko, we'll try and see how can we make it easy for you. So adding you more time, giving you grace period, can it help? Adding you paying in small installments, can it help? And before we go to auction, we also advise our customers, there are some covers like credit default cover. It's an insurance cover covering you against defaulting. Those are things maybe a customer can consider taking. Yeah, so we have all these steps before we come to the final one. So first we'll see how can we restructure it to make it easier for you. Even if kama restructure imeshindikana, what is the next solution?
Yeah.
Give you grace period. Maybe if we give you grace period, not paying anything at all during this period, can it help you maybe to reorganize yourself? If it cannot work, were there any insurance covers which can help on this? Then we can also talk to your, we can expand the conversation to people who you relate to. Can they take over this facility and try and help you? Yeah. So auction comes in at the tail end when everything else has failed. And if I look at our mortgages, our portfolio, very few have gone to auction.
Yeah.
The percentage, it's a single digit. Yani yenye tunaweza sema hii ilienda kwa
That's really good.
auction. Yeah.
That's really good. And
Really encouraging.
you can now feel comforted at home. Now, there's a misconception about Sharia mortgages that they are more expensive than the other ones.
Is it true?
I don't know where this comes from.
Is it true?
But is it true?
Okay, actually there are two misconceptions. The first one is we are supposed to be free. Since it's Islamic,
Yeah.
why are you charging? Yeah. Sinyi muna ride on a religious platform, supposed to be like an NGO. Then there's this other misconception, you are too expensive. So both of them, maybe we can try and debunk. On the first one, we are riding on a Sharia-compliant platform, but we are still a commercial entity.
Yeah.
We are not operating as a charitable organization, but the element of ethics has to come in. So even if we are charging anything on top extra, has to be in an ethical way, yani ethically iwe sawa. On this other side, I don't think that is in eneo nje that we are too expensive, but in reality we are actually just at par with other financial institutions. In fact, sometimes we are even lower.
Yeah.
Like currently we have reduced our rates. We are one of the lowest in the market. Yeah. So that is not true. Our rates are at par, or we are trying to benchmark with other financial institutions. And most of the time we also try to reduce our rates so that we become competitive in the market. Yeah.
So currently, as of this is October 2025, November 2025, what are your rates?
I don't have it offhead,
Okay.
but just last week we issued a communication. We have reduced it at further 0.25%. I think we are one of the first. After the central bank had reduced the base lending rate, we have gone down by 0.25%. So that's why I can say to go lowest at the time.
I think when I was at Gulf like a month ago, I asked and I was told, I don't remember the figure correctly. It was between 13 to 16. I'm not sure if it was 13 or it was 16 point. It was either 13 point something or 16
It was 13 point something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say ukitoa 0.25, we are either at 13 flat or even lower.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the next question, which was supposed to like get more me, how someone can get into Sharia compliant mortgage, but we've done it. So are there Sharia compliant real estate products?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like kuna nyumba
And utasema
ini
no.
Sharia compliant,
na this one is
ini
not.
no, ama ini pia sisi ni misconception.
Yeah. So you see, in mortgage on real estate, you have two fronts. You have financing, where a customer someone wants a house. He wants to be financed or to construct whatever. And there is this other wing where someone wants to invest in real estate. He wants to put his money in mortgage, yani kujenga and all that. So in this wing of purchasing, there is very little to look at because you cannot say this house is a Sharia compliant house. Yeah, so basically, as long as the bank is comfortable financing this customer, the location is okay. When they look at it, maybe in case it goes to auction, a sellable value is fine. They can use it. Maybe on that front, the only thing we can look at is what is the purpose, and most of the time mortgage ni mtu anataka kuishi hapo. Yeah, so very little on that. But when we come to investing, that is where we may have Sharia controls. Because first you can invest in REITs, real estate investment trusts. But those REITs, some of them are leveraged by loans, yani zina capital. So one of the things you look at if you want to invest, you have three ways. First is you invest in cash. As they say, cash is the king. So if you have the money, you can just invest, buy house, you can do it. But assuming you are a small investor, so one of the Sharia principles is, and this is also in conventional, is you invest in rates. These are where you buy some shares in a trust which operates in mortgages. They are buying mortgages and all that. So, and then you get dividends. So when they sell these houses, they operate these assets, you get your dividends. So one of the Sharia principles is that these trusts have to be, they should not be financed by a Sharia. They should not have a loan as their capital. They should not be capitalized by a interest-bearing loan. Another thing is they will look at maybe the purpose. Though most of the time purpose is not that important, but the main thing is how has it been capitalized, that REITs. If it has, or most of its capital is from interest-bearing loans, then I cannot participate in that REIT if I want a Sharia-compliant real estate investment trust. So that is another way of investing in mortgages. Another way is you can just buy directly shares from home builders. So you can see this is a construction company, they are operating. And wameenda kwa stock market maybe, you can buy shares and you get, and also one of the things we look at is how has it been capitalized, that company. Walipata pesa from loans, if that is the case, then we also look at, like I said, the purpose is sometimes it helps because inaweza kuwa wana operate real estate but they are operating in wanajenga macasinos, things which are considered non-compliant. So that is why it is important, especially if you are a small investor, you want to invest in mortgages or real estate, look at, is there a Sharia certificate for this trust? If it is a REIT, you have to look at, have they been audited? Have they been checked? is their Sharia compliant certificate. So certification is very important. Even in the bank, all these products which we offer, there is a governance structure. There is a Sharia board, which consists of scholars who are well versed in Sharia and also financial investments. So they'll have to audit, then they'll have to give out a certificate that this product conforms to, or it is Sharia compliant. So same thing applies to investing in real estate. If it is a trust, make sure that the certificate, it is certified as Sharia compliant before you put in your money.
There are Islamic rates though, aren't there?
So in the country, that is a gap. We don't have a rate which we can say it is Sharia certified, is Islamic. The ones we have are conventional. And most of them, when you look at how they get their funds, they'll get it from everywhere. From loans or from investment funds which invest in loans and all that.
Are there in Africa?
In Africa, yes. So when you look at South Africa, Nigeria, they are way ahead of us. They have Sharia compliant rates. They have Sharia compliant bonds. These bonds which government issues is not Sharia compliant. So you have something called sukuk. So even me as an individual, if I want to invest with the government, currently I can't invest because they don't have a Sharia compliant investment. I can't lend the government. But you see these other countries like South Africa, Nigeria, Shariah-Compliant, they have issued something called sukuk. It's a Sharia compliant bond which any person can invest. So in Africa, yes, we have, but also not many. But in Kenya and maybe at large in Eastern Africa, Eastern Central Africa, this is still a gap which we are facing.
Do you think this gap is because of demand? Like the people are not as many, so people are not setting them up?
I don't think it's demand. I think just lack of awareness. Because we were doing some small statistics, assuming, Muslim population in Kenya, let's use the Muslim population because this was our main target market. Assuming it's just 3 million. And of the 3 million, let's say only 10% are bankable. The people who can bank, who have funds. 10% of 3 million is 300,000. If you take all these Islamic financial institutions, put them together, all our customers, we don't reach 100,000. All of us. We have 3 fully fledged Islamic financial institutions. We have 3 Islamic windows. Windows are just part of Islamic branch in a conventional bank. We haven't even reached 100,000. So where are all those other people? So the market is there, the demand is there, but I think there is the lack of awareness. Also maybe regulatory restrictions. Some of these things are still new, so they have not been entrenched in our financing laws. But these are areas which we still believe if people or investors are really serious in investing in, these are areas which are still, we can say it's a blue ocean. You can freely swim in it. There is demand,
And that's why you're here, for the awareness, for people to know, for even someone like me to learn that Gulf is a viable option for me. And speaking now in that direction, we've mostly spoken about buying a ready house. So is there an offering for buying and building, like buying land and building land in terms of mortgages, or what mortgage facilities do you offer?
We also have their construction financing, where a customer may need a plot and may need to be financed to construct. So also that is a product which can be done using the structures I've just mentioned. So we have construction financing where if a customer has a land, he just needs construction. We can do it through the first mode of trading. So we buy for him the construction materials, then sell it to him. So we can just finance him that. If he needs a land and construction, that also happens. And I think the requirements are more or less the same with the mortgages. Yeah, so if you are, you'll have to bring your pay slips. We'll look at your repayment ability and all that. The requirements will remain the same. So it's actually part of what we offer as a bank.
So you can say for construction people would go for the first option, the trade
Yes, trade
mode, and then maybe for the mortgages, now you're buying a ready house, people will go for the co-ownership.
Correct, yes.
And then the financial lease, which product, who takes that up?
So most Islamic financial institutions avoid the financial lease because you see, when you lease an asset to a customer, the risk is with the bank, the lessor, the owner. So assuming something happens to the asset, not due to customer's negligence, so the bank will bear full loss on that.
Yeah.
So we tend to avoid using lease.
Yeah.
Most Islamic financial institutions, we want to share this risk with the customer.
Yeah.
So why not co-own and co-purchase? And also in lease, in co-owning, at least customer, when he contributes, you can see his commitment, that he's committed to this. But in lease, when you purchase this asset fully as a bank, you own this asset, then he opts out. You cannot enforce him. You cannot force him. Yeah. So in our jurisdiction, most Islamic financial institutions avoid the leasing mode. They'll just use the trade or the co-ownership mode. Yeah.
Higher. So let's talk about gaps. So we've said the first gap is the rate.
Yeah.
And there is need for rate. So do you think, in your opinion, are there any other gaps maybe in Islamic banking or Sharia compliance?
Yeah. So if we go generally, there is still gap. You see, in Islamic finance, you have different areas. You have Islamic banking.
Yeah.
You have Islamic investments. You have insurance. That is a business on its own.
Yeah.
And in insurance, we have Islamic insurance, which is different from the conventional one. So all this, there's still a huge gap. Like I've just explained, in Islamic banking, we still have this huge market we have not tapped into. When you come to insurance, same thing. In the whole of East and Central Africa, we only have one Islamic insurance company. You can imagine. So there is still a huge gap. Yeah. And Islamic investment products, like I've said, REITs is still missing. Government bonds, government securities, it's still a gap. Even in our stock market, we have, when you go and do a screening process, screening is where you want to ascertain these shares are Sharia compliant. When you go and do a screening process, you'll find very few Sharia compliant stocks.
And let me interrupt kidogo. How easy is it to find out if a product is Sharia compliant? Because unless I'm the one who's looking in all the wrong places, you would hardly find it's the first thing you would see on our website.
But they'll normally, they'll have that certificate, the compliance certificate. They'll say
the first thing you would see, because I would take that is also another gap, the awareness bit of it, because if I can't see it initially when I see, let's say, let me use our company as an example. You come, you see, okay, for us now we know we partner with banks, with Gulf, but let's say it's another product, a bond. If it's not the first thing I see when I'm looking, chances are it will be very difficult for me to find out. So that's also another thing.
In fact, that is one of the biggest gaps, that we do not have a unified body which can ascertain that this product or this investment is Sharia compliant. Like I've just said, now each bank, they have their own Sharia body just to ascertain. And that is one of the things we have tried to petition the government. Can you have a unified Sharia board which can actually certify that this product in this bank is Sharia compliant? This stock in Nairobi Stock Exchange is Sharia compliant. I think the only part which we have a unified body is on the eateries. You have halal restaurants, or they can brand that that this Nini has been certified product and it is halal or Sharia compliant. So it is one of the challenges we are facing, that we do not have, and it's also affecting our market because customers ask us, so okay, how will I know it's Sharia compliant? And sometimes you'll have conflicting views even with the institutions. This institution has issued this product as a Sharia compliant product. Another institution will tell you, no, our scholars have told us it's not Sharia compliant. So if we can have a unified body, especially in these financial products, and they can certify them, it will have been a good improvement, and it will give our customers or even the market confidence they need. And also, maybe on the same point, since there's lack of sensitization, I think this is the first time you're having this
Such a
topic.
yeah.
And I really commend you because it's important we have it. But very many, the Muslim masses still are skeptical if we are really Sharia compliant because they don't know how it works. And I think that is also a gap now on our side. Have we gone out enough and sensitized people? Though we have tried, but is it really enough? Do they really know what are the value addition of working with us, the element of risk sharing, the element of transparency and all that? Has it really gone out there? Or we have those misconceptions running through that we are an expensive bank and we are only operating for Muslims. So I think also the minimal sensitization, and I think this one I can fault all of us as stakeholders in the industry. We really need to come out and maybe talk about it even on bigger platforms. And I think this is just commending you.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, we can speak about it right now. Let's, to the viewers and to the listeners, take it up as a challenge. If in your circle of influence, you are able to
tell a friend.
You're able to even, maybe you have power to create a whole board and you can fill in the gaps. Take it as a challenge, and in the end, I feel like it's a blue ocean.
Because it's for me, I feel like it is very surprising that there's no unified body where I can just go to their website, check there's this product, how many people are Sharia compliant. I choose one of them. I go to banking services, this and this. I go to, now let's say, okay, real estate, how all those things to the tiniest thing. There are boards for everything. In this country, there's a board for practically almost everything.
There's Kenya cereal.
There board.
Kenya tea.
There is Kenya everything board.
You would. I feel it's possible.
It is possible. And I hope this conversation goes out to whoever needs to listen to it. If you have a policymaker in your house, if you have,
nudge them.
Waskume, because this is really important, and I find it, I don't know, does it sadden me or does it make me feel like these are things that should have already happened?
But okay. For a country that's growing, it's true. You can appreciate that you're feeling sad. Because personally, I didn't know these things. Now,
because if there's
a policymaker, I am a policymaker in the making.
Because if there's a butchery that has been plastered halal, I'm sure
it's possible.
It's possible to have everything else. To
even
do
just
it.
Financial banks and everything.
But that's a gap, and I think there's room. That's a good thing. There's a lot of room for growth because let me ask you. Let's say it's a two-part question. So how did Sharia banking look like, or even Sharia compliant mortgages look like 5 years ago, and what would you hope or expect they look like 5
years
10 years from now?
So if we go back 5 years, or even maybe just going back a little bit, the concept of Sharia banking just started in Kenya in 2007. And I think as a bank, Gulf African Bank, we were the first bank to open a fully fledged Sharia compliant bank. And at that time, going all the way, maybe 5 years ago, the uptake was good, and people embraced the concept, but the mortgage bit was, and it's still not where we want it to be. And I think one of the challenges is the issue of affordability.
Yeah.
Mortgages are expensive, and also in commercial banks there is that element of, can I really afford? Is it something I can manage? And I think that's why partnering with these institutions which have the affordable housing as part of the agenda, KMRC and such, will really help. So we have grown, and from mortgage products we have seen quite some uptake, but it is still slow. When you look at other products, we have other products, they are catching up, they are doing well. But in the mortgage, we still need to improve on it. And I think one of the things we really need to look at is the affordability. People should try, and we should try and package our products. And I think as Gulf African Bank, that is one of the things we are really looking at. That's why you have salaried people who also qualify for those facilities. And it will be a game changer if the pricing can change. Yeah.
You've said, which I wonder why I did not even ask. But it won't work with Gulf, KMRC. I do know KMRC gets their money from big investment lenders,
Yes.
Kina World Bank, Kina IFC.
Yeah.
There's some investors. So I don't know if KMRC products are something that
We can.
Gulf can offer.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to talk much about it because it's work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is one of the areas we're really looking at, and KMRC is one of the partners we are looking at, where if we can work with them
It will
and doing it in a Sharia-compliant way, I think it will be a game changer. It will try and address this issue, especially for a lot of Muslim customers who may want to take mortgage, but maybe pricing ndo inawasumbua kidogo. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that product.
Yeah.
Because
me
trust me,
too.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, it will be fantastic.
It will be very
Yeah.
good.
And another reason I was thinking about why maybe the mortgage product isn't being taken up that much, and you've mentioned it too, is the question of, is it really Sharia compliant? And the best part about that is that you have explained exactly how it is Sharia compliant, because it's easy for me to come and tell you it is Sharia compliant, take it. But now that you've explained it, even the person on the other end, they can feel comfortable. And I hope there will be enough awareness to even list out how exactly, because there is that trade Sharia compliant, there is the co-ownership. It should just make you feel comfortable. So I hope that everyone will be able to feel comfortable enough to take up mortgages, because they are sure at least they're not going against their what do you call it?
Their belief.
Their belief.
Yeah.
Yes. Now back to the question. We've spoken about 5 years ago. What do you think the scene will look like 5, 10 years, 40
In a good
years?
How can I say? In an ideal
Scenario.
in an ideal world,
Yeah.
How would you
imagine?
And yeah, you have put it well, ideal scenario, because that's where we are aiming at as an institution, and I think the industry at large. Like I told you, it is a blue ocean, it's still untapped market. We have just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So we expect to see huge uptake, especially on mortgages. This is one of the areas which we believe there is a huge demand.
Yeah.
People are just maybe waiting for the pricing. Can they be a little bit affordable? And so I can see maybe the uptake, and even it will help most Islamic financial institutions to maybe grow 10 times because of mortgages. And I specifically look at mortgages because this is one area which we believe there's a huge demand, especially in the Muslim market. If it's not a ready-made house, they want to construct. When you go to those areas in the coast, northeastern, people have land. Because unaona mtu has huge tract of land, lakini sasa he wants to construct. So if we can address those two things, first demystify and remove the misconception that this is just a name, we have just used a Sharia name. And number two, can we look at our pricing
Make it affordable.
so that it can make it affordable? I think we can see a huge improvement. I can just give you an example. When we started as a bank in 2007, tulikuwa uko chini. Now we are looking at going to tier 2. You know, in bank, we have 4 tiers. We have surpassed so many other banks, which were here many years before us because of this Sharia tag. People really wanted Sharia solutions. So if those 2 things can be addressed, sensitization, pricing, I can see us going way tutagro sana tufike tier 1 as an institution.
Yeah.
I would like you to tell us.
But he has been saying, you've been telling us, you've been plugging yourself.
But
do you want to plug
Gulf as a whole? I know you have a very good online platform. From the people I've interacted with, they've said your digital
OTG.
platform, on the go. Your OTG is great. I lag. Tell everybody
more. As we close now, because we are now, I think, at the end. As we close, tell us more and anything you'd wish to say, to plug yourself.
So thanks. So Gulf African Bank, like I said, we are the first fully fledged Sharia-compliant bank in the market and opened to the public. And currently still, I think we are the largest, both by assets, liabilities. We are still controlling the market. We were the first, I think, to open women-only branches. So, trying to have the women empowerment. Also first to issue a Sharia-compliant credit card. Most of these products, we can say we were the first. And like you have just mentioned, also our digital channels. They are one of the best Sharia compliant. So, and as a bank, I have mentioned it several times, we want to reach out to the whole market, not only the Muslim population, actually everyone who will like or will embrace this concept of ethical or Sharia compliant banking. And we want to see ourselves growing not only in the country, but the whole region. So yes, and I think we are also glad that you have invited us not only to touch base on mambo ya Islamic finance, but also to introduce ourselves as an institution.
You're welcome. Karibu sana tena na tena, which brings me to this week's property of the week, Cascadia Apartments at Two Rivers. So Gulf graciously partnered with us in Cascadia Apartments. So if you're looking to get that mortgage, the Sharia compliant mortgage from Gulf Bank, come take up Cascadia Apartments. You have 1, 2, it'll be right here on the screen. So 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, 3 bedroom with DSQ and 3 bedroom duplexes. Anything else I've left out? No, nothing more. We have all the amenities you would like to think of. We have Olympic grade pool. We have a gym. We have
tennis court.
We have a play area. We have something no other development has in this country. Matthew, what is it?
They're called the sustainable. Oh my God.
How do we explain it? So
how can we put it?
Within a block, there is a free space in between the block where you can go chill, co-work, have fun. Hiyo ni floor space enye tumeacha for greenery and relaxation. And they vary from floor to floor. So it's not just one floor. So you can have one.
We can actually put it
just a photo here, a video. So it's a fantastic development. And we have partnered with Gulf African Bank to help you get that. So please call us. The number will be in the description box. You can DM us at The Real Conversation Podcast KE on Instagram, TikTok, where else? Tunafungua Facebook account. So please, watu wa Facebook, we are now here. DM us that. Do we call DMing ama ni messaging? Ni messaging. And or on any Centum Real Estate online platform, we will be sure to answer you on anything you may require. So that's it from me today, from us today, the podcast.
And then if you need any tip on financing, if you need a consultation, Nasser is here. We're going to also put the information in the description box and a band on the
You can give them
on the
your
screen.
number
By
right
the way,
now.
we will give it to them.
Okay.
Watu wa save. Na uko na
Or give
number
them
ya,
my
ya bank.
Yeah. Okay.
We will put it in the
Yeah,
band.
better.
Yeah, watasumbua Nasser.
Yeah.
Nasser is a trendsetter. You
Yeah.
know? But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely. This is The Real Conversation.
See you next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Bye-bye.